Hello, Screech fans! Happy Halloween! And welcome to this very special Screech at the Reach edition of Live Steam. I'm Pauline from the Reach Museum. Now don't forget, daylight savings time ends this weekend. So tonight, before you go to bed, you'll need to set your clocks back an hour. And then tomorrow night, it's going to get dark by between 5 and 6 o'clock. So that means it's a great time to take a night hike. Now, when you're out in the dark at night, there's a whole different set of wildlife that is out and about. It's a really good time to listen for owls right at dusk. You might be able to hear in your neighborhood the western screech owl, or even the great horned owl, which sounds like this. If you're lucky, you might see them fly by, but you'll never hear them flap their wings. That's because owl feathers are extra soft, which helps them fly silently at night. If you take a look at the flight feather of an owl, the trailing edge has this serrated pattern, which disrupts the air currents and it helps them not make any sound. We can compare that to a feather from a goose, and you can see that has a very straight edge, even on both sides. So as they flap, you're going to hear a lot of turbulence, making a lot more noise. Well, besides being able to fly silently, owls have other ways that they can be successful hunting at night. They have really good hearing. In fact, their ears are positioned so that one ear picks up sound from this area, the other ear picks up sound from a totally different area, and that helps them pinpoint exactly where their prey is without even using their eyes very much. They also have extra big eyes, which helps them see with a lot better accuracy than creatures like us that don't have as large eyes. Here is a skull from a very small owl, a burrowing owl. See how big, disproportionately big those eyes are? If I had eyes like an owl, they would be something like this size. And I'd be able to see a lot better in the dark. Now, many nocturnal animals have better night vision than humans do. That's because they have a specialized retina at the back of their eye. It's an extra layer of reflective cells that is called the tapetum lucidum. And this actually reflects light back into the retina, which allows them to see in lower light conditions. It also produces eye shine, which you might notice when you shine a flashlight directly at your cat or dog in the dark. And if they're looking back at you, you can see the eye shine. Look at all the different colors of eye shine on these nocturnal critters. So where is this retina that I'm talking about? Well, it's probably better if we make a model of an eye. And you could do this at home too, using something that you're maybe likely to have around on a day like today, candy. I'm going to start with a cupcake, but you could also use a muffin or one of those really big jumbo marshmallows, okay? And that's the vitreous body. In reality, it's going to be like a very liquidy kind of gel, but we're going to use a solid object, okay? Now, the part of your eye that we can see, that colored part, is the iris. We'll use a lifesaver. And the iris is the colored part. It will, in the dark, it will actually open up as wide as possible so that the pupil in the center can let in lots of light. All right, so I'm going to add the iris to the front of my eyeball here. Now, inside your head, at the back of the eye, that's where the retina is. It's a pretty thin layer So I'm going to use something thin. Oh, I'm going to use a fruit roll-up. But first you have to cut a round piece out of it. You can use scissors for that. I already did cut the piece here. There we go. So it's a thin layer that has special photoreceptor cells that receive the light. And I cut a hole in it because there has to be a place for the optic nerve to attach. And for the optic nerve, which is what leads to your brain, we can use one of these, a Twizzler. Okay, and it attaches right at the back of your eye in the center. I'm just gonna poke that into your cake, in your eyeball. So when you are seeing something, right, the light enters the pupil at the front of your eye. It goes through the vitreous humor, the cake, and is received by the retina, the fruit roll-up at the back. And then signals are sent to your brain along the optic nerve, the Twizzler. Delicious. So now the retina is actually made of two different kinds of cells. Some are shaped like cones and some are shaped like rods. The cone cells detect color, but they don't work so well in low light. The rod cells detect low levels of light to help you see in the dark. The tapetum lucidum is like an extra layer of fruit roll-up, right? And it has that reflective surface that reflects light to the rod cells in the retina so that the nocturnal animal can see more in low light. And remember how those cone cells, which detect color, don't work so well in low light? You can test this when you're on a night hike or just anywhere in the dark. Bring with you some crayons. I have a bag of crayons here, and some paper. When you're in the dark, randomly pick out a crayon, take a look at it in the dark, and try to tell what color it is. Ooh, that's a hard one. Write on your paper what color you think it is. I'm gonna try maybe blue. Okay. And then try it with a bunch of different crayons. Just keep writing what colors you think they are. And then when you get back inside, or turn on a light, you can check and see how many you got right. I'm not sure I got that one right. It looks like it's black. Well, as we see, those cone cells don't work very well in low light. Now, your eyes can get used to the dark. Okay, the rod cells will begin to work better and better the longer you are out in the dark. But it takes a good 30 to 40 minutes before your eyes really truly adjust. So be patient and try to resist turning on the flashlight if you can, if it's safe to do so. Also, if you use a red flashlight, then that will keep your eyes adjusted to the dark. All right. If you want to enjoy your edible eyeball even more, you might even add some red icing on it. And I hope you get a chance to take a stroll in the dark to listen for owls. Happy Halloween and have fun.